पहले 7 से 10 मिनट जब किसी मंत्री पे आप दे रहे हैं तो मान लो समावेश है उस बिल में कानून बनने में जो भी उसमें समावेश है कि हमारा एमएसपी है रहेगा। एमएसपी जब हम सांसद इस माध्यम से मंत्री प्राप्त कर रहे हैं तो किसी के साथ
हॉल में सब लोग चल सकते हैं।
अभी
with no physical invitation having been sent. We are transmitting this event over live webcast, and it's possible that even a greater number of people may witness this event than in the previous years. This institute was set up to be a torchbearer in medical education and innovation in this country. Srimati Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, the visionary primary responsible for establishing this institute, was not just the first health minister of India, she was also a great champion for women's rights, a freedom fighter, and one of the first women representatives from Asia on the WHO's governing body. In the last 6 months, we have been entrusted with a massive responsibility, not only of providing patient care, but also innovating in areas of research, guiding colleagues across the country, and developing new methods of teaching and communication. It is a matter of pride for me to state that we have come out with flying colors in all these responsibilities. I am truly grateful to the entire AIIMS family for this. We have once again shown what the spirit of AIIMS is all about. It is therefore appropriate that the e-exhibition this year has been titled AIIMS in the Times of COVID-19, and it is basically meant to showcase the work that we've all done in the last 6 months. And as you all know, there has been a combined team effort to really do all of these activities. In terms of infrastructure, we rapidly commissioned the newly constructed NCI, the National Cancer Institute, Jhajjar, to accommodate over 600 COVID-19 patients. We transformed our trauma center into a COVID-19 hospital, and this was a major task because the center was functional at that time and occupied by sick patients. We transferred all patients from the trauma center, including many on ventilators, to the main hospital, and this was done within just 2 or 3 days. We modified our OTs, emergency areas and ward areas to cater for COVID-19 positive patients and suspect patients, and this was subsequently adopted by many institutes across the country. We received our first COVID-19 patient on 20th March, followed by a sudden influx of over 100 patients at NCI Jhajjar on 31st of March. Till date, we have treated more than 6,000 COVID-19 patients, with a peak single-day load of COVID-19 of 865 patients admitted at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, on the 7th of June. This number then started decreasing, but now it has again started increasing, and now again we have more than 500 patients admitted today in both NCI Jhajjar and in our AIIMS Trauma Center. I remember the initial days when there was major shortage and concern about PPEs and masks, but our resourcefulness came into fore and we set up a massive procurement system and supply chain to ensure a steady supply of PPEs and other equipment to our treating teams. We also showed immense innovation, and we were able to design techniques for sterilization and reuse of masks and PPEs to tide over the crisis. This activity was actually appreciated by DRDO, and we are actively involved with them in many areas of such innovations. Creating and taking care of manpower is one of the most important aspects of managing a pandemic. You need to have motivated manpower, and we mobilized our manpower from all areas of the hospital, including our students, who pitched in to do jobs they had never done before. In order to ensure the health of our workforce, we provided transport, accommodation, and food for those who needed it. We set up communication channels both for patients, doctors, and general public to address their queries and provide guidance 24/7, and this was done by the contact facility which was set up in the AIIMS guest house. One of the other challenges at the beginning of the pandemic was the availability of testing facilities. Again, we came up to this challenge and we quickly ramped up the RT-PCR facility, but also expanded the rapid diagnostic kits, and subsequently the CBNAT facility was also enhanced, and now we can provide around-the-clock reports, and this is something that we have done using the CCRR facility also. And I am proud to say that we are one of the few institutes where such a quick report can be generated. Our reports are available as far as CPNAT is concerned in 2 hours, and as far as the RT-PCR is concerned within 6 hours. Our responsibility also extended to creating treatment protocols and guiding healthcare professionals across the country in managing COVID-19. We have opened numerous channels for education both within and outside the institute. Our Hospital Infection Control Committee has undertaken massive operation besides developing policies and procedures for patient care and hospital services. And we have trained more than 14,000 of our own employees and residents on hospital control, which I think is a mammoth task, and I really would like to thank the hospital infection control team for all these activities. Numerous guidelines, educational pamphlets, videos and scientific reviews were created and widely disseminated through our website as for guiding treatment not only for the faculty and students at AIIMS, but across the country. At the national and international level, we train physicians through our national grand rounds, our EICUs, our centers of excellence programs. We even had programs for our countries in the SAARC region, and this was also highly appreciated. Till now, we have addressed over 300 hospitals across the countries and received lakhs of views on social media platforms. We have mentored institutes to ramp up testing for COVID-19 across the country, and now our testing capacity in the country exceeds 10 lakh tests per day. Considering the need for convalescent plasma in the treatment of COVID-19, we organize blood bank donations and drives, including one in collaboration with the Delhi Police, which was launched by the Honorable Minister on the 19th of July. Research continues to be our focus areas in the pandemic, and numerous intramural grants are provided for research work on COVID-19. Research funding for COVID-19 related projects was very early initiated. We actually started this intramural call for grants in April 2020, and more than 60 projects have been funded till date on various subjects ranging from pathogenetic mechanisms to drug trials. Many of these are being showcased today in the exhibition that we are having and the e-posters that are available on our website. In terms of education, we rapidly shifted to online mode of education for our undergraduate students who were allowed to go home during the pandemic. The Saral platform along with video conferencing system were deployed to deliver lectures, discuss cases and patient management was also conducted. While COVID-19 has been the focus, we have continued to provide non-COVID patient care throughout, and this includes emergency services, teleconsultations, emergency surgeries, perinatal care, obstetric care, and this was done uninterrupted even during the lockdown. It's a matter of immense pride that for the third consecutive year, AIIMS New Delhi has been ranked as #1 medical institute by the National Institute of Ranking Framework, NIRF, by the Ministry of Human Resources and Development. We also again ranked the best college and best hospital by numerous ranking agencies, just as Week Magazine, Newsweek International, and India Today. The examination section also showed exemplary tenacity and ability in successfully holding the AIIMS PG entrance exam in June this year. This was just after the lockdown got lifted, with full COVID-19 precautions. As a result of all of this, our PG program did not falter in their timelines, and all students will enjoy the benefit of regular courses and protection of their career opportunities. AIIMS also received the India Research Excellence Citation Award 2019 for Medical and Health Science under the Web of Science group. In 2019-20, AIIMS had a total of 885 extramural projects running with a total grant of 150 crores. The intramural collaboration project funding was about 10 crores for about 160 projects. With the objective of creating a more vibrant research environment and laid down lines of future long-term collaboration, the funding call proposal was shifted, and this vision now has been cross-research activities, and now we have collaboration with other institutes like IIT Delhi and THSTI. With IIT research projects, and many of these projects are translating into patents and products, and this is something which is truly remarkable, because this is in line with what our Honorable Prime Minister said, that we must have Make in India products, and I'm sure that with collaboration with IIT, a lot of such products will come into the market from AIIMS and IIT. For the first time, AIIMS faculty could compete for intramural collaborative funding opportunities with international universities, with the objective of enhancing interdisciplinary and collaborative research interests between University College Delhi. A joint research seed fund has been established, and it funds projects proposal from faculty both from Art Institute and from UCL London, and this is also a mechanism of trying to build bridges with various institutes to have collaborative research projects. For the And again, for the first time, the undergraduate research mentorship scheme was introduced for students. A total of 22 such projects were awarded. A group of 2 to 3 MBBS students under the guidance of a faculty member designated as mentor are funded up to 2 lakhs per project for 1 year. And this is actually to start a research thinking and a research mind in our undergraduate students with mentorship from the faculty and some seed money given by the institute itself. Impetus was provided to infrastructure and capacity building through operationalization of twin facilities, the Clinical Research Unit and the CCRF, the Centralized Core Research Facility. The Clinical Research Unit will work as a specialized biomedical research unit to provide high-quality technical expertise and assist in planning, designing and implementation and analysis of investigator-initiated clinical research. The CCRF is housed in the 9th floor of the Convergence Block and comprises of 8 sub-facilities and covers a full range of research areas. It was inaugurated in January of this year by Professor Venki Ramakrishnan, the recipient of 2009 Nobel Prize in Chemistry and the 62nd President of the Royal Society. For the 3rd consecutive year, AIIMS New Delhi has been awarded first prize in Kaya Kalp by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. We have initiated campaigns for reducing have been installed on a pilot project basis. Before the pandemic, we visited several countries and a lot of cooperation was established between them. Last year, we also had a visit by Queen Sylvia from Sweden, and this was to look at the geriatric care that we are providing at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, including the management of dementia. Earlier this year, sir, we commissioned the new RAK OPD at Masjid Mode campus, and this was formally inaugurated by the Honorable Minister and the Minister of State just some time back. The new block has been designed and built to offer an emphatic experience to patients with wide circulatory space and well-ventilated waiting rooms with a capacity of more than 15,000 patients per day. Work is also going on in the surgical block, which has a capacity of 200 beds and 14 OTs, and it's likely to be completed in the next few months. Construction for the mother and child block is under progress, and hopefully this should also be ready by late this year. Construction of the geriatric block, the National Center for Aging, is in process and likely to be completed by next year. And the burns and plastic surgery block is also almost complete, and hopefully that should be operational soon. Currently, it is being used also as a backup for the COVID-19 management. To meet the acute housing shortage of AIIMS faculty, we have formulated a redevelopment proposal for its campus in West Sarinagar and Ayurveda Nagar. The proposal has been approved for construction of 3,928 residential apartments in lieu of 1,444 apartments that currently exist on the campus. The final redevelopment scheme envisages construction of 2,856 residential apartments in AV Nagar and 663 apartments in West Sarinagar campus. This will really help to augment our residential capacity to more than 4,000 houses. The construction will be taken up in phases. Statutory approvals have been taken and work has already started in the West Sarinagar campus, and I'm hopeful that it should be ready in the next 18 months. I'm also happy to state that the process of selecting the consultant for the AIIMS master plan has been completed, and very soon the AIIMS master plan should also be started. Sir, as we continue our fight against novel coronavirus, we must also keep our commitment to thousands of other patients who depend on us for their health. We should not forget our compassion and empathy to our patients. This is also a challenging time for health of our colleagues. We have thrived on social interaction, travel and freedom, and we were suddenly forced into a life of isolation, fear and multitudes of restrictions. This has led to great strain on our physical and mental health. I urge you all to have continuous social interaction with your juniors and seniors. Let us today pledge to support each other so that we can come out of this pandemic with flying colors and stronger both physically and mentally. I am sure that as a family we will continue to work hard with even more commitment and effort and make immense contribution to the institution and to the nation. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words, for taking us through the journey of last year, particularly through the pandemic and all our efforts that have been there at not only at the institutional level, but also at the national and international level for dealing with this pandemic. Every every year, we also honor the academic achievements of our students, both undergraduate and postgraduate, our residents, interns, as well as of our staff, in various aspects. And today also, we have a list of awardees for the various awards that have been instituted by the Institute. And for giving away these awards, I request the dignitaries on our dais, particularly the Minister, Shri Vardhan ji, to please come forward along with the Director to distribute the awards, please.
The first awardee, Pratik Mohta, receives the Mohanlal Vig Medal 2019 for clinical research. Pratik also is awarded the Dr. K.C. Kandari Book Prize Award in Dermatology and Venereology for Best Postgraduate Student. The B.K. Anand Medal in Physiology goes to Sunaina Soni. Surabhi Agarwal is awarded the Dr. Podraj Sagarwal Medal in Ophthalmology. The Sanjeevani Medal in Anesthesiology goes to Haritha Damarla. The next awardee is Swati Sonal for the Dr. Adi Prakash Medal in Surgery. Vijay Kubihar is awarded the Dr. Shyam Sharma Medal in Radiology. The Dr. Jagdish Lal Kapila Medal in Cardiology goes to J. Raylan. Hemant Kumar is awarded the Dr. N.C. Nayak Medal in Pathology for the Best Senior Resident. Professor H.D. Tandon Medal in Pathology for the Best Undergraduate Student goes to Sankeet Sadanand. Srimati Shakuntala Jolly Medal to the Best CM Medical Oncology Student goes to Vinod Sharma. The Dr. V. Ramalinga Swamy Medal for Best Junior Resident in Pathology goes to Priyadarshini S. Ramavat Devendra Nayak gets the Mrs. Geeta Mittal Medal and Book Prize for Clinical Research. Srimati Kripal Kaur Medal for Best House Physician goes to Umang Arora.
The next is the Colonel G.C. Tandon Medal for 2019 in Anesthesiology, and the awardee is Abhishek Singh. The Professor V. Hingorani Medal in Obstetrics and Gynecology to Keerthana R. Dr. L.N. Mahapatra Medal for the Best Postgraduate Student in Microbiology goes to Akash Neel Bhattacharya. Dr. J.R. Chawla Medal 2019 in Urology for the Best Senior Resident goes to Devanshu Bansal. Dr. MMS Ahuja Book Prize in Endocrinology goes to Hiya Goro. The Srimati Leelavati Salman Book Prize in Obstetrics and Gynecology for the Best Junior Resident for Outstanding Research goes to Garima Patel. The Manohar Lal Soni Book Prize Award for Neurology for the Best Postgraduate goes to Ayush Agarwal. Dr. K.C. Khandari Book Prize in Dermatology and Venerology for the Best Postgraduate Student goes to Snehal Agarwal. The Amazonians of America Book Prize for the Best Nurse goes to Ragini David Dawson. The Amazonians of America Book Prize for Best Nurse in Research Work goes to Suman R. Kashyap. And the Amazonians of America Book Prize in Community Care Nursing goes to Dr. L. Gopichandran. In addition, I would like to announce the names of the persons who have been awarded but have been unable to attend due to various reasons this award giving ceremony. The Mrs. Geeta Mittal Medal and Book Prize for Basic Research went to Rishikesh Thakur. The Srimati Kirpal Kaur Medal for the Best House Physician was also shared by Bhavesh M. This Dr. S.C. Palekar Medal in Biophysics was awarded to Shashank Shekhar. Dr. S.S. Sidhu Medal in Dental Surgery for the Best Postgraduate Student was awarded to Neeraj Kumar. The Hira Lal Medal in Surgery for the Best Postgraduate Student was awarded to Ashil Kaul. The Dr. M. Rohatgi Medal for the Best MCH Student in Pediatric Surgery was awarded to Kanika Sharma. The Professor V. Ramalinga Swamy Book Prize for the Best Intern at the Rural Health Center Balaghat was awarded to Anurag Kumar. The Dr. MMS Ahuja Book Prize in Endocrinology was also shared by Saurav Khatiwala. Dr. Rakesh Tandon Book Prize for the best DM gastroenterology student was awarded to Gyan Ranjan Raut. The Sorel Catherine Freeman Book Prize in Pediatrics for the best postgraduate student was awarded to Arunambika Chinnappan, and the Kamini Charity Trust Book Prize in Rhinolaryngology was awarded to Subhagar A.S. Thank you very much.
The research section has compiled a compendium of procedures to facilitate smooth running of research activities at AIIMS. This manual is an attempt to compile standard operating procedures for running research projects and other initiatives undertaken by the research section. We hope that this compilation will be an immense resource for AIIMS as well as many other institutions in this country. This manual will be released by our Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare. I invite the people on stage who have worked hard to achieve this task. May I now call upon the Dean Research, Professor Chitra Sarkar, the Associate Dean, Professor Vineet Ahuja, Professor Anand Krishnan, and Mr. Amit Quadra on stage, please. Thank you. अब मैं हमारे विशिष्ट अतिथि माननीय राज्य मंत्री स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय श्री अश्विनी कुमार चौबे जी से विनम्र निवेदन करूंगी कि वो हमें संबोधित करें।
आज अखिल भारतीय आयुर्विज्ञान संस्थान नई दिल्ली के इस 65वां स्थापना दिवस समारोह के शुभ अवसर पर यहाँ उपस्थित हमारे देश के लोकप्रिय केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्री, साथ ही साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी और अर्थ साइंस के माननीय मंत्री डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन जी, यहाँ उपस्थित देश के और दुनिया में कैसे मिसाल कायम करने वाले ऐसे चिकित्सक जो यहाँ के निदेशक हैं, डॉक्टर रणदीप गुलेरिया जी, ममता रूपी ऐसे डॉक्टर श्रीमती अनिता सक्सेना जी, डॉक्टर पीयूष जी, हमारे यहाँ के सभी सुप्रिंटेंडेंट के साथ साथ सभी चिकित्सक, वरिष्ठ चिकित्सकगण, डिप्टी डायरेक्टर और सभी शोध करने वाले हमारे अनुसंधानकर्ता, सभी छात्र छात्राएं और यहाँ के सभी कर्मचारी बंधुओं, पत्रकारिता के क्षेत्र से आए हुए प्रिंट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया के सभी साथियों, मुझे पिछले कई वर्षों से स्थापना दिवस समारोह के कार्यक्रम में आने का मौका मिलता है। इस बार का कुछ अजीब है, जो ताम झाम बड़ी सादगी से अच्छी बात है। ये कोविड के कारण हम सब लोगों ने सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का भी पालन किया है और बड़ी सादगी से इस कार्यक्रम को हम लोग मना रहे हैं। दिल के अंदर तमन्ना तो है ही कि भाई स्थापना दिवस या जन्म दिवस होता है तो लोग खुशहाली मनाते हैं बहुत अच्छी तरह से, लेकिन परिस्थिति के कारण उसके शिकार है। मुझे खुशी है कि आज एक ऐसे व्यक्ति का जन्म दिवस है, जयंती, जन्म जयंती, जिसने देश और समाज के लिए और दुनिया भर के लोगों में एक चिंतन करने का, एक विचार करने का जो छाप छोड़ने का प्रयास किया। ऐसे हमारे जनसंघ काल के संस्थापक रहे हुए एकात्म मानववाद के उपदेष्टा पंडित दीनदयाल उपाध्याय जी का आज जन्म जयंती है और इस अवसर पर यह कार्यक्रम संयोग है कि स्थापना दिवस भी है और उनकी जयंती भी इसी तिथि को पड़ता है। आज देश के ऐसे 22 एम्स जो प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी के द्वारा 22वां एम्स प्रदान हो चुका है, जिसके हस्ताक्षर के रूप में डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन जी स्वयं हैं। और आप ये कह सकते हैं कि दुनिया में इतने अच्छी संस्थाएं मिलने, अब आप सोच सकते हैं जहां एक एम्स आजादी के बाद इस देश के अंदर एक एम्स हुई थी जो अखिल भारतीय आयुर्विज्ञान संस्थान नई दिल्ली के रूप में हम जानते हैं, और आज फिर जब 2001-2 में हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्रद्धेय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी बने तो उन्होंने इस देश को 6 एम्स प्रदान किया, जो काफी प्रगति के पद पर है। और उसके अलावा 2014 के बाद लगातार अंतिम में अभी कुछ दिन पहले बिहार के दरभंगा एम्स जो 22वां एम्स, उसको भी देने का काम हमारे ऐसे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी के द्वारा प्रदान हुआ है। यह देश चिकित्सा के क्षेत्र में विशेष करके जो हमारा ये एम्स संस्थान है नई दिल्ली, मैं जानता हूं कि यहाँ के चिकित्सक, यहाँ के शोधकर्ता, यहाँ के चिकित्सा कर्मी सभी क्षेत्रों में हर विभाग में यहाँ जितने डीन और फैकल्टी के लोग हैं, आप सब लोगों के परिश्रम के कारण इस संस्थान का नाम दिन दूनी रात चौगुनी हो गया है। जहां अमेरिका से, जर्मनी से, इंग्लैंड से, वहां के भी छात्र यहाँ पढ़ने आते हैं और जापान, फ्रांस, अमेरिका, इन सभी देशों के साथ आप चिकित्सकीय कार्य में पूरा सहयोग कर रहे हैं। इस संस्थान का निश्चित रूप में एक गरिमापूर्ण स्थान देश और दुनिया में बना है और हमें गर्व है इस संस्थान को आने का, इस संस्थान में आने का। और देश के तमाम जगहों से, वो गांव का गरीब लोग भी क्यों लो, आज भी उसकी लालसा होती है कि नहीं मैं एम्स जाऊंगा तो जरूर ठीक होकर आ जाऊंगा। ये साथ आपने पिछले 65 वर्ष में कायम किया है। ठीक है, शरीर माध्यम खल धर्म साधनम, यह तो आपकी साधना है, यह सचमुच हम सब लोगों के लिए विलक्षण है। और हर वर्ष हम जयंती के और स्थापना दिवस के इस शुभ अवसर पर ऐसे ऐसे अच्छे लग्न प्रतिष्ठित छात्र छात्राएं, चिकित्सक, चिकित्सा कर्मी, नर्स, सब लोगों को और विभिन्न ऐसे प्रमुख लोगों के नाम से उन्हें पुरस्कार भी देते हैं, उन्हें सम्मान भी देते हैं, उनके उत्साह को बढ़ाने का काम करते हैं। संस्थान के द्वारा अनेक कार्यक्रम स्थापना दिवस के अवसर पर कई प्रदर्शनी है और सब प्रकार के कार्यों का आपने विवेचन किया है। ये कोविड के कालखंड में आप जानते हैं कि इस संस्थान की कितनी बड़ी भूमिका रही है। मैं कुछ महीनों पूर्व जब बिहार में चिकित्सक दोबारा राउंड वहां कोविड का हुआ और कुछ असावधानी के कारण हमारे कई चिकित्सकगण की मृत्यु हो गई, लोग भयभीत हो गए थे। उस दौरान एम्स दिल्ली में हमने यहाँ के डायरेक्टर के माध्यम से मेरी बातचीत हुई और विभाग के माध्यम से जो इन्होंने वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस के माध्यम से जो उन्हें प्रशिक्षण देने का काम किया और देश के कई राज्यों को उसका लाभ मिला, चिकित्सा कर्मियों को, इसमें कहीं दो मत नहीं। मुझे लगता है कोविड की इस महामारी को, इस वैश्विक महामारी को जिस प्रकार से हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने समय पर निर्णय लेकर के एक दूरदृष्टि के साथ जो उनका विजन था कि हम लोगों को कैसे बचा सके, और आपने देखा कि चिकित्सा कर्मियों के लिए थाली और ताली बजाते हुए उन पर पुष्प वर्षा भी की गई और साथ साथ कानूनी रूप से उस समय चिकित्सकों पर या चिकित्सा कर्मियों पर जो प्रताड़ना कुछ जगहों पर हुआ उसके खिलाफ अध्यादेश भी हुआ जो अब विधेयक के रूप में पारित हो चुका है। हमारे संस्थान को हम कैसे अच्छा बना सकते हैं। अब कोविड के कालखंड में आप सब लोगों ने जो सेवा किया है, मैं आपकी सेवा को प्रणाम करता हूं, आपको हर्निश प्रणाम। आप सब चिकित्सा पूरे विश्व के अंदर इस महामारी में शायद आप जैसे चिकित्सा कर्मी, स्वास्थ्य कर्मी नहीं होते तो लाशों की ढेर मिल जाती। आपने अपने जान को हथेली पर रख करके इस पुण्य काम को, इस सेवा के कार्य को करने का काम किया है। मानव सेवा, माधव सेवा, जन सेवा, जनार्दन सेवा, नर सेवा, नारायण सेवा, इस सेवा को आपने जनता जनार्दन के प्रति समर्पित करके अपनी जान की परवाह न करते हुए आप लगातार दिन रात कोविड वार्ड में जो रहते हैं और पीपी किट्स पहन करके क्या स्थिति होती है। हम लोग मास्क लगाते हैं, आदत हो गई धीरे धीरे, तो बेचैनी होने लगती है कई बार। और आप हमारे स्वच्छता कर्मी से लेकर के चिकित्सक सब लोग लगातार 8 घंटे ड्यूटी पर रहते हैं, ये मामूली बात नहीं है, ये साधना है। एक साधन के रूप में आपने समाज को चिरंतन बनाए रखने के लिए, समाज को जीवंत बनाए रखने के लिए आपने ये काम किया है। इस कोविड के कालखंड में आपने यह भी देखा कि जहां एक भी टेस्ट लैब नहीं था, आज देश में 1800 से भी ज्यादा टेस्टिंग लैब और प्रतिदिन शुरू हो रहे हैं, प्रतिदिन बढ़ रहे हैं, कोने कोने में, चाहे सरकारी हो और गैर सरकारी स्तर पर भी। उतना ही इस संस्थान में दिल्ली के अंदर जब महामारी पूरा चरम सीमा पर था और उस समय गृह मंत्री जी ने बैठक बुलाई थी और उसी के दूसरे ही तीसरे दिन आपने शोध करके एंटीजन टेस्ट को भी देश के अंदर बढ़ाया, जो आज लाखों की संख्या में गांव में उसकी टेस्टिंग भी हो रही है। जहां आरटीपीसीआर टेस्टिंग लैब हमारे खड़े हैं, वहां ऐसी भी टेस्टिंग आपने शोध करके और लोगों की भलाई के लिए हर्ष भेजा। ये ठीक है कि लोग इंतजार कर रहे हैं वैक्सीन के बारे में। हमारा पूरा देश, हमारे सभी अनुसंधानकर्ता, विभिन्न संस्थाएं और दुनिया के तमाम ऐसे संस्थाओं के साथ मिलकर के हम इस प्रकार के अंजाम देने की तैयारी कर रहे हैं और उसकी पूरी तैयारी हो रही है। मुझे विश्वास है कि आने वाले इस वर्ष के अंत तक, अगले वर्ष में हम जरूर कुछ करने में समर्थ हो पाएंगे। किंतु मानव रक्षा के लिए जो कुछ भी प्रयास कर रहे हैं, हर राज्यों में, हर क्षेत्र में, हर जिले में प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में, हमारे डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन जी के नेतृत्व में ये एक मिसाल कायम किया है। कोई कह नहीं सकता कि किसी भी राज्य के साथ किसी प्रकार का अनदेखी किया गया हो। लगातार प्रधानमंत्री जी मॉनिटरिंग करते हैं, प्रतिदिन स्वास्थ्य मंत्री जी, हम सब लोग उनके साथ शराबी बंद करके उसकी चिंता करते रहते हैं, लोगों से बात करते रहते हैं। विभाग रात दिन इस काम में लगी हुई है। मुझे गर्व है कि आज 7 करोड़ से भी ज्यादा टेस्टिंग इस देश में हो चुका है। 8 लाख से ज्यादा प्रतिदिन टेस्टिंग हो रहा है। ये आंकड़े रोज बढ़ते हैं, तो मुझे विश्वास है कि जिस सिद्धांत के आधार पर जो एम्स और आप सारे लोगों ने इसके चेन को तोड़ने के लिए जो टेस्टिंग, ट्रैकिंग और ट्रीटमेंट, इन तीनों टी के आधार पर इस कोरोना को मुक्त करने का जो संकल्प है वो निश्चित रूप से पूरा होगा। सावधानी भी बरतनी है। बार बार प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं 2 गज की दूरी बनाए रखो, सार्वजनिक जगहों पर और मास्क पहन करके हमें हाथ को अच्छी तरह धोए। इस देश ने स्वच्छता का तो विशाल 2014 के बाद, महात्मा गांधी के बाद जो देश में स्वच्छता का विशाल, हर बच्चे अपने अभिभावक को भी कहते हैं, अगर चिनिया बादाम का टुकड़ा ट्रेन में चलते हुए अगर उनके पिताजी फेंक देते हैं, कहते मैं नरेंद्र मोदी जी को खबर करूंगा। ये जो लोगों में जागरूकता पैदा हुआ है, बच्चे बच्चे में, हमारे आईसीएमआर से लेकर के सब लोगों का नाम, अब बच्चे बच्चों के मुंह पर आईसीएमआर का क्या आज निकलता है, उनकी क्या एडवाइजरी है। ये स्कूल में पढ़ने वाले छोटे छोटे बच्चे भी स्वास्थ्य के बारे में उनकी कितनी जागरूकता हुई है। ये कोविड जहां हमारे लिए महामारी का रूप था, वहां कोविड हमारे लिए वरदान भी सिद्ध हुआ है। अच्छे अच्छे आइडियाज भी हमारे इस दौरान हुए हैं। मैं आज के इस अवसर पर आप सभी को पुनः हृदय से आपके प्रति आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, और आपने हमें इस कार्यक्रम में जोड़ने का काम किया, मैं आभारी हूं। आप सबका बहुत बहुत आप सबको धन्यवाद देते हुए, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखात् भवेत्। सभी सुखी रहे, आरोग्य रहे, सभी भद्र हो, और सभी एक दूसरे की पीड़ा को अपनी पीड़ा समझ करके उस पीड़ा के निवारण का सहयोग करें। यही मानवता है, यही इंसानियत है, और यही भारत की सभ्यता और संस्कृति है। आइए हम सब लोग अपने दैनंदिन जीवन में इसी संकल्प को आगे बढ़ाते रहे, और चिकित्सा समुदाय को हम एक नई दिशा देने का काम हर रोज करते रहे। यही आप सबसे हमारा घनवत प्रार्थना है। जय हिंद, जय भारत, वंदे मातरम, नमस्कार, जय चिकित्सा जगत के सभी लोगों को धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for those enlightening and encouraging words. Dr. Harshvardhan ji is the Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, and he's also the President of AIIMS, and he has kindly accepted to join us in our celebrations of the 65th Annual Foundation Day, and we would love to hear your words to us, sir.
My colleague Ashwini Chaubey ji, Director AIIMS Dr. Guleria, Dean AIIMS Dr. Anita Saxena, Chairman of the Exhibition, Organized here Exhibition Committee, Dr. Piyush Sani, all the esteemed faculty members, doctors, residents, other students and media friends, other staff of AIIMS. Thank you for giving me this privilege of being a part of this very auspicious occasion, because birthday, even if it is a 65th birthday, it's always an auspicious occasion and a moment to rejoice and feel happy about. I had the privilege of being a part of this function on earlier occasions also, and whenever I come to AIIMS, I always feel so happy and elated, because it is certainly one of the most prestigious institutions, at least for the medical fraternity and of course for everyone in the country. For any young boy who aspires to become a doctor, his first ambition and his first dream is to get into the competitive exam and pass the AIMS exam and become a doctor from AIMS who can later on be called an AIMSonian. So I always feel that you are all very fortunate to have been a part of this institution, which has a long legacy, long history of contribution from hundreds of stalwarts, and this is the time to pay tributes to all of them. Many of them may not be with us in this world, but their contribution for the development of AIMS will always be remembered by everyone and will always be written in golden letters in the history. I would love to remember particularly people like Dr. Dikshit and Dr. Vigda amongst the first few directors, and of course Dr. Ramalinga Swami, whom I had personally seen and met on many occasions when I was health minister in Delhi. And I could feel the greatness of his personality and the charm of his personality and the intellect that he enjoyed even in the 90s. So, and this status that we have achieved today, it is all because of the contribution of so many people, so many stalwarts. We know so many stalwarts of this institution who still continue to work even at the age of 90 actively, helping AIMS also from the background and helping many other institutions. I know people like P.N. Tandon, they are still helping our Science and Technology Ministry on a number of issues. Dr. Valeria's father is, I think, still must be 90. He's 92, he's still quite active. There are many senior AIMS people who are still helping. Dr. Santosh Kakkar, I know, who has been one of the greatest TNT surgeons, a former director of AIMS, is still operating and doing his staphylococcus and other ear surgeries, I think, even at this age. So, we have seen so many stalwarts in this institution. It's a great institution, and as rightly described by Dr. Valeria, and the long history and the long achievements, I may not repeat many of those things, but I always tell my young doctor friends that it is a privilege and a blessing to have become a doctor, and then for a doctor to have become a doctor from AIMS is another super privilege. But I always tell the doctors the next step out of it is that having enjoyed that privilege of having become a doctor, the next challenge before everyone, once you leave the institution or while you are inside the institution, is to become a good doctor and be able to live up to the reputation of a doctor or of the institution that you actually belong to. So this is the challenge we all face in our lives, and I think occasions like this, when we meet, and of course when we remember the legacy, and when we award our young, talented, committed, dedicated, selfless workers, doctors who have done so well and who have contributed very sincerely. It's a moment for everyone to take and draw a lot of inspiration from such people also. So I would love to congratulate all of you, and this time it's very heartening to know that in spite of so much of tremendous pressure that we all have been facing, and AIMS in particular has been facing a significant brunt of that also, we have dedicated this function to COVID, and of course highlighting activities related to COVID, highlighting COVID positive behavior and so many other things. We know last time when I came here on 14th of August, I was moved by that map of India, which was shown to me by the resident doctors here on that day when you had all organized a blood donation camp. And the map showed 245 photographs which were dispersed all over the country. In every portion of the country we had photographs of those doctors and nurses and other paramedics who have succumbed during this COVID while working as COVID warriors. I was just asking Dr. Kuliya, so we are fortunate that inside this campus there are not many who, while serving COVID patients, lost their lives. But if you look at the whole country, a lot of our doctors and other nurses, they have all succumbed in big numbers, and their contribution will always be, whenever the history of COVID shall be written, then their names and their contribution will always be written in golden letters. They will always be remembered, and they will always continue to inspire us. And I feel that I don't know how we can actually celebrate this occasion, because these are very, very hard times, and during these hard times AIMS has been contributing for the alleviation of the sufferings of the patients of COVID who come to AIMS or who are referred to AIMS, but also we have in the last 5-6 months created a couple of facilities trying to help patients and also doctors who are admitted all across the country through all these contact and teleconsultation and telemedicine and various other facilities like that. And every day, as a health minister, I receive calls from many places all across the country where somebody is serious. They want that you please get us, we will send some doctor from AIMS to us, you send a team to us. I know some of the places there. Our teams here from AIMS, they have spent sleepless nights away from Delhi, gone there, and a lot of patients and their doctors, they are continuously in touch with our doctors here, including the director. So the contribution of the doctors and the residents of All India Institute of Medical Sciences is monumental. And that is why we can always very proudly say that when the first case came on 30th of January, after that it's almost a journey of 8 months. And in spite of the fact that we were not actually mentally prepared to face COVID in the devastating form that it is, the country has done so well that we still continue to be far better than most of the countries of the whole world in terms of all the relevant parameters, whether it is cases per million, whether it is deaths per million, whether it is tests per million from a situation when everybody used to be complaining in this country about the very few number of tests we were doing sometimes in April. Today I was just studying the data of today morning. Yesterday we have almost touched 15 lakh tests per day from a situation where this swab used to go to CDC Atlanta for testing 5-6 years back. Now we have 1,818 laboratories in the country, all created within this span of 6 months, out of which a lot of time was spent in lockdown, where it was difficult to even send things to various places all across the country. We are touching a recovery rate of almost 82%. Our fatality rate is less than 1.6 now. We are targeting to go below 1 also. All this has happened, and then of course the creation of the infrastructure. Almost 17,000 facilities of COVID dedicated hospitals, COVID health facilities, COVID care centers with 18 lakh beds, and almost 12,000 quarantine centers with 13 lakh beds. This all has been created by our people. And then there's so many things simultaneously going around. We all are reminiscent of, we are again and again reminded about the shortage of PPEs 4, 5, 6 months back. Everywhere we used to have a tweet on Twitter, there is a case, the doctor doesn't have a, and today we are manufacturing over 5 lakh PPEs in a day. Most of the state governments in the country, they now say, sir, please don't send us more PPEs, please don't send us more N95 masks. We do not have a place to fix or keep the ventilators now. So that's a real-time situation right now. Drugs also we are supplying to drugs like hydroxychloroquine, we are supplying to 140 countries of the whole world. And there is so much which is happening in the science and technology ministry. We are one of those countries which has isolated the virus. We have done genome sequencing of almost 2,000 viruses. We have created biorepositories. We have now 40,000 viruses stored for research by young researchers, young students, industry, academia, clinicians, everyone. So there is a huge lot of developments that have happened in the last 6 months, and I think the medical fraternity in particular, although it has been a total government, total society approach which has helped the country come up to this particular level, but the contribution of the medical fraternity and their also specific contribution of institutions like AIMS, I think it can never be forgotten. So all those young people who have been awarded, I would request you that when you go back with these awards, it should not be a routine activity in your life. You should now have a definite, focused dream for yourself about something perceptible, measurable, and that you can make out of the dream that you actually develop now, for doing something exclusive for the country, doing something exclusive for your institution, for your department. And that can always be done once you start dreaming about it. And once you start dreaming about it, I can only promise you, because I have seen Prime Minister Modi's government from very close quarters, with movements like startups and stand-ups and the type of support that the government wants to provide and is already providing to the young people, to the young researchers, to the young innovators, to the young budding scientists. There is everything that you will be supported with. You should only have an idea and the dream to convert your idea into an entrepreneurship so that you can build up yourself also and you can contribute to the society also. I can promise that you will have the total technical as well as the financial and the intellectual backing of the present government. And thousands of people have received support and have converted their lives and have contributed so much. It is not the time or the occasion to describe their achievements, but I would say that the last 6 years it has been a historic contribution from the young people of India and the young budding scientists and clinicians and others working. So this is a time when at this birthday of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, our young people can basically work on developing new dreams. And I can only tell you with my own experience that if you have a dream and if you start working on it committedly, God will be very kind to you and you will have the support of the society and the nation to fulfill your dreams. Then I would also say that for 65th birthday, like in 2017 at a speech delivered by our Prime Minister at 6 o'clock in the evening at the party headquarters. I was part of that function, I heard it. He said, imagine you were in 1942 today when the Quit India movement was announced. And 5 years later, we got independence. So in 2017, he appealed to all Indians that 5 years later it will be 2022. And that will be 75 years of our independence. And I want every countryman, every professional, every doctor, every scientist, even normal layman, to start dreaming about a new India, which we should be able to deliver in 5 years from now, in 2022. And that is what he has been working since then. And every professional and every scientist is reminding him of his professional social responsibility, about his scientific social responsibility. So I was just wondering that AIMS ranking, no doubt you have number one ranking in the assessments that are made within the country, say by HIV or by the magazines, etc. But we should now start dreaming about big achievements where we can improve our rankings internationally, because there we have to go a long way, and we must have some well-defined goals and targets. There should be a goal about 2022, there should be a goal about 2025, and there should be a goal about 2030. That is the minimum modest that I can think of, because like our Prime Minister says that by 2030, we want India to be amongst the top 2-3 scientific nations of the world. He says by 2025, we want to eliminate tuberculosis 5 years ahead of the international goal. Like for 2022, he says, I want to deliver with everybody's support a new India to all Indians, where everybody has smile on his or her face, every child has access to good education, health, nutritional, all those facilities, and we are able to alleviate the sufferings of the common man, take care of our older people, take care of the women, and like that, he elaborates that. So similarly, I think that now on the 65th Foundation Day, I would urge about the director to involve the larger group of committed people within AIMS to brainstorm, aggressively brainstorm, meticulously brainstorm, minutely brainstorm, and let some new ideas be given birth, and let some institutionalized mechanisms be created for converting those ideas into dreams for the AIMS institution, and so that we can achieve those targets, and those targets of improving our rankings internationally also. And if we work on this principle scientifically, I am sure that we are capable of doing it, we have the potential of doing it, we have the DNA to do it, but the only thing that may be required is that all of you have to start thinking about it. Because routine things will go on and on, but we must strive to have better performance on the next Foundation Day, much better in 2022, and then further better in 2025, and then of course decide something about 2030. I think if we can start with something even modest, at a modest scale, that will certainly be that our celebration of Foundation Day has been very meaningful and very useful. So this is my small suggestion to the young people, and of course to Dr. Guledia and his colleagues, faculty and others. I am hopeful that we will continue to work and keep the AIMS flag high. You know that the present government has a very massive agenda of introducing a lot of reforms in the field of medical education. There are so many that have been introduced. At the moment, 157 medical colleges, new medical colleges are in the, you can say, various stages of coming up in development. My colleague Ashwini Chaudhary has already spoken about these 22 AIMS. Almost 50,000 graduation and post-graduation seats have been increased in the recent years since the time Prime Minister Modi. Almost over 10,000 DNB seats are going to increase very soon, and there is so much that's happening. You know, the new bodies like the National Medical Commission have come up. You know that it's not only about the modern system of medicine. Recently, the Parliament has created a National Medical Commission for the Indian systems of medicine. It has created a National Medical Commission for homeopathy, and it is intending to create a National Medical Commission for naturopathy and yoga. So, the government is working on very high quality reforms in the field of medicine, and you know that there is another ambitious program on which the government is working. The Prime Minister has already announced it from the ramparts of Red Fort. That's about the National Digital Health Mission. Our Ayushman Bharat has already achieved so much of significant success for those 550 million people in the country who are deriving the benefit of access to good quality tertiary care services, even though they may not be having a single paisa in their pocket, at the topmost over 23,000 hospitals of the country. So there is so much that is happening, And then of course the movement for eradication of some of these diseases like tuberculosis, Kala-Azar and measles, etc. We are all working on that. We need active help of people here. I know there is a significant contribution that has started about working on the sequelae of COVID also, because there is a lot of discussion around this subject also all across the world. We want to ensure that not a single woman who becomes pregnant in this country, if she should die for any reason, pregnancy should always remain a wound, it should never become a curse. And it is all possible. It's only the meticulous approach that we adopt and the meticulous diagnosis that we do for the causes of these unfortunate deaths. And then of course we have to ensure that we are able to provide vaccines for vaccine preventable diseases through the universal immunization program to 100% of our children. We can't be happy with 80% or 90%. So these are some of the challenges, but I am sure that with the wholehearted involvement of the medical profession and the leadership and the support provided by institutions like AIDS in the country and the commitment of the faculties of these institutions, we should be able to realize our dreams in the near future. So once again, I would wish you all good luck, good health, and pray to God for your future success in all your endeavors at the All India Institute for the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom, support and encouragement. I now request Registrar AIMS to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Institute.
अखिल भारतीय आयुर्विज्ञान संस्थान नई दिल्ली के 65वें स्थापना दिवस समारोह के मुख्य अतिथि माननीय केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्री भारत सरकार डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन जी, विशेष अतिथि माननीय स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण राज्य मंत्री भारत सरकार श्री अश्विनी चौबे जी, डॉक्टर रणदीप गुलेरिया डायरेक्टर एम्स, डॉक्टर अनीता सक्सेना डीन एकेडमिक्स, डॉक्टर पीयूष साहनी चेयरमैन साइंटिफिक एग्जीबिशन कमेटी। आज इस अवसर पर एम्स की ओर से हार्दिक धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करना सचमुच एक गर्व की बात है। प्रतिवर्ष 25 सितंबर को हम संस्थान का स्थापना दिवस मनाते हैं और संस्थान के लक्ष्यों के प्रति अपनी प्रतिबद्धता का संकल्प दोहराते हैं। पिछले 60 वर्षों में शैक्षिक गतिविधियों, रोगी उपचार एवं अनुसंधान के क्षेत्र में अखिल भारतीय आयुर्विज्ञान संस्थान ने जो प्रगति की है उसे हम अभिभूत हैं। आगे भी हमारा प्रयास रहेगा कि एम्स के संस्थापकों ने जो लक्ष्य निर्धारित किए हैं हम उनकी ओर आगे बढ़े और उन बिंदुओं पर एक फ्रंट रनर पॉलिसी मेकर के रूप में उभरे। इस अवसर पर हम माननीय मुख्य अतिथि के प्रति हार्दिक धन्यवाद व्यक्त करते हैं जो अपने व्यस्त कार्यक्रम के बावजूद हमारे संस्थान में आए और हमें अपना बहुमूल्य समय दिया। आज उन्होंने जो हमें सुझाव दिए हैं हम जरूर उसमें विचार करेंगे और उनके मार्गदर्शन में संस्थान को नए लक्ष्यों के साथ अग्रसर होने के दिशा में हम कार्य करते रहेंगे। इस अवसर पर हम भारत सरकार के माननीय स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण राज्य मंत्री श्री अश्विनी कुमार चौबे जी का भी हार्दिक धन्यवाद करते हैं जो हमारे बीच आज उपस्थित हुए। मान्यवर आज संस्थान के इस कार्यक्रम में सम्मिलित हुए, इससे हमें बहुत प्रेरणा मिलेगी और हमें यकीन है कि आपके आशीर्वाद, मार्गदर्शन और समर्थन से संस्थान नए विकास की ओर अग्रसर होगा और संस्थान मजबूती के रूप में एक अग्रणी संस्थान के रूप में हमेशा आगे रहेगा। हम इस अवसर पर एम्स के निदेशक डॉक्टर रणदीप गुलेरिया जी का भी धन्यवाद करते हैं जिनके प्रोत्साहन, बहुमूल्य मार्गदर्शन और समर्थन से आज का यह कार्यक्रम आयोजित हो सका। डॉक्टर दिगंबर बेहरा जी जिन्होंने संस्थान का जो है रजत जयंती व्याख्यान आज दिया, बहुत ही विशिष्ट विषय पर उन्होंने जो है व्याख्यान दिया। हम उनका धन्यवाद करते हैं कि उन्होंने हमारा अनुरोध स्वीकार किया। हम आज के अवसर पर डॉक्टर अनीता सक्सेना जो हमारे संकाय अध्यक्ष हैं, डॉक्टर पीयूष साहनी जो कि साइंटिफिक एग्जीबिशन कमेटी के चेयरमैन हैं, जिनके समर्थन और मार्गदर्शन से यहाँ का कार्यक्रम आयोजित हो सका, हम उनका धन्यवाद करते हैं। कुछ विशिष्ट लोग जिन्होंने इस स्थापना दिवस के अवसर पर विभिन्न कार्यक्रमों के संचालन के लिए जिम्मेदारी उठाई, डॉक्टर राधिका टंडन, डॉक्टर रचना सेठ, श्री मंजुल रस्तोगी जी जो इंजीनियरिंग विभाग के मुख्य अभियंता हैं, उसके अलावा शैक्षिक विभाग के कर्मचारी, इन सब लोगों ने अपना बहुत मुख्य योगदान दिया है जिससे आज हम इस कार्यक्रम को आयोजित कर सके। साथ में मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा सीमेट के कर्मचारियों का, सेट फैसिलिटी के कर्मचारियों का, और बाकी जो संकाय सदस्य हैं, छात्र हैं, स्टाफ मेंबर्स हैं, चाहे वो कर्मचारी हो, चाहे स्वच्छता विभाग के कर्मचारी हो, सुरक्षा विभाग के कर्मचारी हो, इन सब ने इस कार्यक्रम को आयोजित करने में काफी सहयोग दिया है। उन सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप सभी का इस कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित होने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you, sir. Now we'll all stand and sing the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तब शुभ नामे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गावे तब जय गाथा, जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हो जय हो जय हो, जय 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 हे।
Thank you. Now the dignitaries will proceed to inaugurate the exhibition, and please don't forget that the cultural evening will start at 6:30 p.m. It is going to be telecast
New Delhi. Shri Ashwini Kumar Choube ji, Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, my faculty colleagues, students, staff members, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the celebration of the 65th Foundation Day of our institute. By celebrating Institute Day. However, the celebration this year are limited in the number of physical attendees. We are following social distancing norms and the decorations are minimal. The exhibition has fewer posters with no physical invitation having been sent. We are transmitting this event over live webcast, and it's possible that even a greater number of people may witness this event than in the previous years. This institute was set up to be a torchbearer in medical education and innovation in this country. Srimati Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, the visionary primary responsible for establishing this institute, was not just the first health minister of India, she was also a great champion for women's rights, a freedom fighter, and one of the first women representatives from Asia on the WHO's governing body. In the last 6 months, we have been entrusted with a massive responsibility not only of providing patient care, but also innovating in areas of research, guiding colleagues across the country, and developing new methods of teaching and communication. It is a matter of pride for me to state that we have come out with flying colors in all these responsibilities. I am truly grateful to the entire AIIMS family for this. We have once again shown what the spirit of AIIMS is all about. It is therefore appropriate that the e-exhibition this year has been titled AIIMS in the Times of COVID-19, and it is basically meant to showcase the work that we've all done in the last 6 months. And as you all know, in a combined team effort to really do all of these activities. In terms of infrastructure, we rapidly commissioned the newly constructed NCI, the National Cancer Institute Jhajjar, to accommodate over 600 COVID-19 patients. We transformed our trauma center into a COVID-19 hospital, and this was a major task because the center was functional at that time and occupied by sick patients. We transferred all patients from the trauma center, including many on ventilators. It was done within just 2 or 3 days. We modified our OTs, emergency areas and ward areas to cater for COVID-19 positive patients and suspect patients, and this was subsequently adopted by many institutes across the country. We received our first COVID-19 patient on 20th March, followed by a sudden influx of over 100 patients at NCI Jhajjar on 31st of March. Till date, we have treated more than 6,000 COVID-19 patients, with a peak single-day load of COVID-19 of 865 patients admitted at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, on the 7th of June. This number then started decreasing, but now it has again started increasing, and now again we have more than 500 patients admitted today in both NCI Jhajjar and in our AIIMS Trauma Center. I remember the initial days when there was major shortage and concern about PPEs and masks, but our resourcefulness came into fore and we set up a massive procurement system and supply chain to ensure a steady supply of PPEs and other equipment to our treating teams. We also showed immense innovation, and we were able to design techniques for sterilization and reuse of masks and PPEs to tide over the crisis. This activity was actually appreciated by DRDO, and we are actively involved with them in many areas of such innovations. Creating and taking care of manpower is one of the most important aspects of managing a pandemic. You need to have motivated manpower, and we mobilized our manpower from all areas of the hospital, including our students, who pitched in to do jobs they had never done before. In order to ensure the health of our workforce, we provided transport, accommodation, and food for those who needed it. We set up communication channels both for patients, doctors, and general public to address their queries and provide guidance 24/7, and this was done by the contact facility which was set up in the AIIMS guest house. One of the other challenges at the beginning of the pandemic was the availability of testing.
aims at contribution from national level to district level beyond and borders. Including vaccine rapid response team. हमारा 400 वैक्सीन एसोसिएटेड